Hot and humid once again today as highs push into the lower to middle 90s all across the board. That's despite partly to mostly sunny skies out top, not just over Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, our time lapse outside of Seneca, Missouri, but all across the area. Despite the cloud cover and the heat and the humidity, that didn't result in any showers or thunderstorms, random in its variety throughout the course of the day. In fact, we're still looking quiet over the course of the evening so far. Maybe a tiny few blips on the radar, but it's not really picking up on rain chances just yet. I'm not going to rule out a random shower or storm overnight, but our better chances will come by tomorrow afternoon and certainly as we go into tomorrow night. In the meantime, quiet looks okay from 7th and range line. But as soon as we get the numbers up from Joplin Regional, still feels like a warm summer night. 81 degrees feels like 85 with the dew point sitting in the lower 70s. And it's the same case for everybody outside of Joplin. Everybody in the lower 80s still at the 10 o'clock hour. But you factor in the humidity, it still feels like we're in the mid to upper 80s in many spots. Ultimately, we will drop back into the mid 70s overnight. We're quiet overall tonight while I continue to keep an eye on thunderstorms still exploding across eastern Montana, the Dakotas, and down the western parts of Nebraska. All those storms are firing up ahead of a cold front that wants to try and work our way as not only as we go into tomorrow, but Saturday. Also, the upper levels are going to come into play. If we can get to the upper level setup, this upper low is going to be running right around the ridge. As the ridge changes its position, it's going to force these thunderstorms to work east through tomorrow morning and then take a sharp dive south toward us by the time we head toward late tomorrow afternoon and certainly by tomorrow evening. For the time being, the Storm Prediction Center thinks we'll see a marginal risk of severe weather, but Doug and I have been looking at everything since this afternoon. It would not surprise us at all if we see an upgrade to our severe weather risk, maybe to a low, by tomorrow morning. Michael Hasel will have the latest on that as soon as we get up in the morning. But 3 o'clock in the afternoon to about 11 o'clock tomorrow night. That's going to be our time frame for strong and severe storms, with wind, hail, and heavy rainfall being the big issues to keep an eye out for. Let's time it out with your future track forecast. Maybe a random shower or storm overnight. Again, though, most of us dry. Everyone's going to be warm and kind of muggy with lows back in the mid 70s for tomorrow morning. Near 90 by lunchtime and pushing into the mid 90s tomorrow before we see any of those thunderstorms from the north try to come our way. So the planner, dry for much of the day. 74 in the morning, 90 by noon, highs around 94, but the humidity will make it feel like easily we're back near 100 degrees. But as soon as we get to 7 o'clock, the future track may not look exactly like this, but every indication I'm seeing wants this complex of thunderstorms to work on through close to the I-44 corridor by 7 o'clock. But once we hit 10 or 11 o'clock, these storms should be on the way out. Maybe a couple stragglers for Saturday morning. But behind that, we're going to be at least a little bit cooler for Saturday temporarily. Let's say highs around 89 on Saturday. Dry for Sunday and Monday, but hot and humid again. Highs in the lower 90s. Thankfully, they'll down once we get past Tuesday's storm chances. A change in our weather setup will hopefully bring us back into the mid 80s for highs by Wednesday.
Which will seem relatively cool.
It's going to feel like an Arctic blast by then.
Yes, thanks, Nick.